Hi, this is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson, and this is...
Also your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Tristan Wynn.
And we're coming to you from Advanced Chiropractic Relief today in Houston, Texas. And we wanted to do this video to show you the things that we give our patients to do for their homework, which is not overwhelming amount of homework, but just the right amount for them to get the best results from the treatment we provide for them here.
Yes, sir.
And you know, this brings up a very interesting topic, which we study quite a bit. Tristan and I both have studied the work of Dr. Heidi Horvick down at New Zealand Chiropractic College Research Department, and then also out of the Australian Spinal Research Foundation. And the concept of neuroplasticity is where the brain is constantly adapting to its environment, both internally and externally from all of our senses. Sight, sound, smell, touch, taste.
Everything.
All those senses. And also, it is continually adapting to the physiology that's going on in the human body, all the organs, muscles, tissues, and cells all the time, because it's operating everything all the time. And everything comes from the brain. And our main purpose here is to reconnect the brain neurophysiology with the body's physiology and biomechanics so that they can readapt positively in their neuroplastic reactions in the brain, as opposed to a negative neuroadaptive plasticity, which we see a lot of. That's when patients come in here, they've adapted to their posture over a period of time, or they've adapted to how they work, or how they sleep, or how they stand, or how they sit.
And patients are always surprised when they come in here and we're able to tell them which way they sleep or sit or stand.
And the reason we can tell them that's because we're taking out the visual three-dimensional space orientation so we can see their true biomechanical alignment.
Your body will gravitate back towards the positions that you put it in most
That's
often.
right.
And so that's why we have the patients close their eyes on that first posture analysis, because as they go through that forward flexion and extension exercise, they somewhat lose their awareness in space, and so the body will gravitate into the position.
To the pattern
that
is
pattern
developed
that
in the
developed. Yep. And so that's where we use that posture analysis then, not only in our adjusting techniques, but in the homework that we give them as well. So that exercise that you see us showing every single patient on video is that mirror image exercise to help counteract a lot of those positions that you're putting your body in most often throughout the day.
And y'all have seen both Dr. Wynn and my adjusting techniques over time. If you've watched our YouTube videos at all, we do exactly the same adjustment on the XYZ axes to every single joint, the spine, pelvis, extremities, every time to reset the brain's neuroplastic reaction.
We're going to fire off as many mechanoreceptors as we can.
That's right. That's right. And that is what we consider to be a positive neuroplastic adaptation versus a negative neuroplastic adaptation, which is, again, like patients sleeping on their sides all the time and hacking their head and shoulders around. And you know, that's why we tell people the best position for their spine to heal up properly in is on their backs with their legs raised.
Go ahead and show them how that is?
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Well, show them the bad maladaptive
So
neuroplastic
a lot of patients
region.
when they come in, they'll
The
say,
worst position is on their stomach.
yes, sleeping on your stomach is the worst with your head chronically turned to one side all night long.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, if you think about it, if you're a stomach sleeper, you can turn your head one way a lot easier than you can the other way, and that's how you sleep.
And people who say they're side sleepers, they may start on their side, but they end up in a fetal position where you're forward flexed. Maybe they'll have one leg
Cocked
pitched
over,
up way up to the side, and those are all those
And a lot of
patterns
people
that we
sleep on
see.
their arms like that too.
Yes, sir. The sleeping position that we recommend.
Now, if you're flat on your back like this and you don't have your legs elevated, you've got a lot of stress in the lumbar spine region because the lumbar curve's there and gravity's pushing down on it, so it makes those muscles even tighter and usually hurts worse to sleep like that. So what we do, and this is one of our homework recommendations that we give to our patients, we have the patients go home and lay on the floor at first and put their legs up on the couch or ottoman, practice that 20-30 minutes before they go to sleep, but then get a plastic tote box or clothes basket flipped upside down, duct tape pillows to it to where your legs are parallel to the floor. When you do that, it flattens the lumbar curve out and relaxes the paraspinal musculature from the lumbosacral spine all the way up, really. And with the head all the way back with no pillow, you've got a forward curve in the neck, which is called a cervical lordosis, and that is also normal spinal biomechanics, which allows your nervous system to function without interference if you're sleeping like this most of the time.
Yep.
You put a pillow under there, you're reversing that curve or straightening that cervical curve out. That creates stress biomechanically all the way down the spine, but can also create neurological impulses and sequelae that are maladaptive in nature.
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, and I can even feel that when you push my head into a
Yeah,
far
you get
cervical
tighter.
position, I can feel that tightening up all the mid-thoracic and even some of those upper lumbar vertebrae as well.
Now, I know that we've seen comments on the videos and we've heard from patients, well, I tried to sleep like that and I just couldn't. Well, that's because they have adapted their entire lives to sleeping the way that they've been sleeping. It's maladaptive neuroplasticity in the brain, but that's what they've adapted to. So we didn't say these things were all easy.
Yep. If they were easy, everybody would be on them.
Right. But these are things that we have found over 42 years of doing this. And see how you got up sideways? That's also something we teach our patients.
So I'll show them the bad way
Yeah.
to sit up here. So you'll see a lot of people trying to do one of these fake crunches where they
Yeah, that's the worst possible way to get up
Yep.
from a lying down position.
Instead, what that does is it puts extra pressure on the posterior aspect of those discs. So if you've got radicular type symptoms, you're going to feel that those symptoms
because
increase when you do something
When
like
you
that.
put your spine in flexion, it compresses the disc anteriorly. The disc bulges out posteriorly, and that's where the nerve roots are, the IBS are.
So that's why we recommend to any of our patients
All
that
of them, really.
that you roll to your side and then you use that bottom elbow as those legs swing down. I'm going to push myself up just like that.
Right. Much
Now-
better for the spine.
Yes, sir.
And you will avoid exacerbating your underlying
Yep.
maladaptive biomechanics and neurophysiology when you do it that way.
Yes, sir.
The other thing that we teach our patients to do on every single new patient that comes in here, and we always reinforce this as our existing patients come back in here for their tune-ups, is to do mirror image exercises, which I'm gonna have Dr. Went explain why we do that and what we're looking to correct on that neuroplastically.
Again, like we've talked about in this video, we develop and we get very used to these habits that we put our spine in all day, every day.
People stand like this all the time,
Yep, or
put their
sitting,
hands out in front of
Leaning
them.
on your console if
Right.
you're driving for long periods
Right.
of times, and we're able to see all those things with the posture analysis when you come in here. But this mirror image exercise, not only is it getting your spine and your body used to the extended position, it's also retraining your brain to develop those new patterns, the positive neuroplastic changes,
Right.
to hold your body in this nice neutral position as opposed to that forward flexed one. So what the exercise looks like is we always break it into 3 parts, and it does change given the particular patient that
Right.
is in the office. Sometimes we'll add an extra part here or there if we see some chronic translations or rotations in certain areas.
Right.
But this is the base recommendation that we give all of our patients. So all 3 parts, shoulders up, all the way back.
Now you notice his breathing too, that's important as
And
well.
that's a positive neuroplastic change that I've made because I don't even think about those things anymore.
Right.
It's just something that I've ingrained into this
And now you
exercise.
just
when
do
I
it automatically,
Yep.
and
So you
that's
pointing
what
that out there,
neuroplasticity is.
I hardly even notice those things anymore. But again, see
Inhale.
that I did it again.
Yep.
I'm not even thinking about it. In, shoulders all the way back. This gets rid of those rounded shoulders. So shoulders up. all
Also
the
helps
way
line
back.
that anterior rib cage up to the sternum better
Go to the
too.
side here from Ms. Shiloh. Then we take that chin. Before we go into extension, we take our chin into cervical retraction.
Yes.
This helps stack those facet joints. And now we're gonna extend to the wall behind us.
Yeah.
As soon as I feel I get to that full range of motion, I come back to neutral and start all over again.
Yeah, you don't wanna hold that position because you'll cramp up there. Remember, this is to retrain your biomechanics and your brain to readapt to a more positive neuroplastic change, which helps people become healthier and more stable.
And one point I like to add to that too, to a lot of the new patients that come in, I compare it a lot to dental hygiene because the dentists don't want you to start brushing your teeth after you get cavities.
Right.
I don't want you only doing this exercise on the days that you feel stiff and sore. I need you doing it on the days that you're also feeling good because again, that's going to start setting in stone those new positive neuroplastic changes.
In fact, people at home watching this can also start doing them and help themselves
And
at
that's
home.
why we're
even.
showing them a lot of these
Right.
homework aspects that we give a lot of our new patients on
Right.
that first visit.
And this is really part of our entire package that we provide for our patients because we're not about seeing people 3 times a week for months on end to build their insurance and collect as much as we can, selling pillows and back braces and all that crap.
and you see a lot of the adjustments that we provide on video, and you do see some of the homework that we implement throughout that, but what you don't see is the before and after, us giving all kinds of information on proper ergonomics when you're sitting,
Right.
sleeping, standing, all of those things that we're giving.
Yeah, standing
all
too,
throughout
see, standing on both feet with feet shoulder width apart is
Not-
good support for your pelvis.
Not
If
doing
you
what I'm
stand
doing.
leaning on one leg, look what happens to the pelvis. See, it translates to that side that you're leaning on, and guess what? Your spine and muscles and ligaments and the brain will adapt to that over time.
Yep.
That's considered maladaptive
The
neuroplasticity.
negative neuroplasticity
Right,
that
negative.
we don't want to adapt to.
Right, but that's what most people have been doing their whole lives, so that's why they come see us.
Absolutely.
There's never going to be a shortage of neck pain and back pain. People have their kids on these
It is a great
cell
time.
phones all the time.
It's a
and
great time to
down.
get into the chiropractic profession right now. I
You
will
probably
tell you
heard
that.
this before too. Sitting is the new smoking. Well, that's a little more dramatic than I would put it. But sitting is, if you're sitting all the time and you're not sitting correctly, that's certainly not good for your spine
Yes, sir.
and will cause maladaptive adaptation.
Yes, sir. Movement is the medicine that we prescribe.
That's right.
So,
Everything we do here is considered maximum movement within the safe joint ranges of motion so that the patients can get out of pain as quickly as possible, but then maintain that by doing their homework. And that's why we're doing this video, because we want people to understand that we're a lot more about everything we do here, not just the adjustments.
yes, sir. So we're not only your chiropractors, but we're going to be your educators and teachers too,
Yeah.
applying a lot of homework to you back
Well,
at
those
home.
are
You're
called
doing-
activities of daily living in the literature.
Yes, sir.
And they're very important, because if you're doing things like sleeping, for instance, if you're sleeping wrong a third of your life, which you sleep a third of your life, if you're sleeping wrong a third of your life, you're going to maladapt to that bad biomechanical configuration, and your brain's going to adapt to that too. That's why it's so hard to get used to sleeping in a different position at first.
Yep.
But,
But
you
like
know,
we said, if it was easy in life, then everybody would be doing it. So.
and
it's
he's
these
seen
things
this for
that-
years, being in here with me now for this going on over 8 years.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the patient to actually do their homework and do their exercises and walk 10 minutes briskly afterwards, we're going to show that here in a minute
Who
too.
stay involved with their own healthcare, really.
Yeah, they are participants in their health, and they get well quicker and they stay that way longer.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And you've seen that, and now you're seeing it on your own patients.
Absolutely. Every single day.
Yep. Pretty cool stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, really, the care package that we have here and the treatment plans that we have here are to get you out of pain and get you back to living your life as quickly as possible without having to come see us 3 times a week. Our fees are our fees because we provide more during a patient visit usually.
And that's why the first new patient is anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes
Yeah.
long, as opposed to maybe 5 or 10 minutes at another chiropractor.
And they don't see that when they're just watching the treatment videos, because that's only takes 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
So
There's a lot more to it than what you just see on video.
That's right.
We'll leave it at that, huh?
that's that too. But the other one big thing though that is very positive for reinforcing what we've just done in correcting the biomechanics on the XYZ axes is to do a 10-minute brisk walk as fast as you can walk for 10 minutes immediately following your adjustments, and then do that every morning before you get your day started, so that you can create also a positive neuroplastic adaptation as opposed to a negative one, because we see a lot of people walk in here and they're not moving their arms and they're walking like this, and
Or they've got a cane or
or
a
yeah, they're
crutch
working
or-
on a cane, or I usually throw those in the trash can
Yes,
first
sir.
thing.
Yes, sir.
But Shiloh, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have you video me walking down the hallway as fast as you can, because this is considered a proper cross crawl walk, and you always walk heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, pushing off your toes, but you let your arms swing freely but naturally. You don't want to do it robotically. So I'm going to take off real fast here. Another thing about this cross crawl walk that people sometimes make a mistake of, they're so used to looking down in their forward head posture. You don't want to walk like that cross crawl, because your brain and body will get adapted to that again with forward head posture. So it's important to keep your chin head up. That's the way I walk everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't matter where I'm at the grocery store or running out to get my bed.
Right. And those are all things, this is all part of the homework that we give every patient on every single visit.
That's right.
And so this is the main reason we wanted to do this video, is to show you that we're doing a lot other than just the adjustments in office, to give to our patients, that they're taking, what I like to call them is tools in your toolbox,
Yeah, exactly.
to pull out when you're outside of the office to help yourself out.
And even people who aren't patients, if they do these things at home, they'll receive the benefits from it. We've had a lot of patients come in and say, well, I've been doing your exercises and that's helped me,
already
but I
started to
still
help.
got these issues.
Yep, they still need those tune-up adjustments to
That's
help
right.
accelerate those processes
That's
a little
right.
bit faster. So
But what else would you have to share about our care plans here versus most
I
chiropractors?
would say if you're interested in coming to see us, make sure you go to advancedhoustonchiropractor.com,
Yes.
fill out a new patient request form, and Miss Shiloh will get back to you within about 48 hours. And so we've been really picking up here in the office, because we're open Monday through Friday. So Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5 p.m., and then on Fridays, 9 to 2 p.m.
Right.
So if you're interested in making a visit, go ahead and schedule with Miss Shiloh, and we'd love to see you here in the office here in Houston.
I'm still in here on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so we're banging out ring dingers side by
Sir,
side with
all day, every
identical treatment rooms side by side. We have mirror image treatment adjusting
Now we're
rooms.
really giving double dingers, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
So come see us here at Advanced Chiropractic Relief.
And thank you for watching our YouTube videos, subscribing and commenting and sharing our videos with people, because our whole purpose is to educate the planet about the benefits of chiropractic care. We really thank you for being crack addicts. And, you know, it's a lot better to have it done in person though than just watch it on YouTube. So
And not playing
go
your
to
Houston
Advanced
Chiropractor
Houston.
at home.
Yeah, don't be playing your Houston chiropractor at home, doing ring dingers on your spouses. We don't recommend that.
No,
We
sir,
don't
we don't.
recommend self-adjusting. That's
No, we
also
don't.
maladaptive.
Mm-hmm. Got to teach people about that all day long too. So.
You know, we have committed a lot of our time and effort and resources. In fact, I'm taking a graduate doctorate level classes right now from Dr. Heidi Horvick at New Zealand Chiropractic College on the research and everything that goes into it. And I can tell you emphatically, Tristan's heard some of them, it's just a lot of information, and it's a lot more
high level, intense
high
information.
level. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, we're big believers in evidence-based practice. Now, some of the things that we do in here aren't published in the scientific literature yet, like the ring dinger technique and
Yeah.
Johnson Y-axis adjustment. Yeah, it's the key word,
Yes,
but
sir.
you know, I've been working on that research for as long as you've known me, right?
Mhm. Absolutely.
It's harder to get stuff done like that than people imagine.
Good quality research takes
Yes.
a long time, but that's where, once we get that information out there, that's where it's going to be set in stone. Going to be hard pressed to come back and push against us after that, huh?
Well, I mean, it is, I mean, I've observed this helping people for 42 years without ever even one incident of an adverse reaction to it. So I know it's safe. I also know it's effective just from my observation, and observation is the first key thing that any scientist
Yes,
does
sir. Absolutely.
in any successful experimental situation.
But
Well,
instead
listen.
of observing, they need to come into Houston and find it out themselves.
Yeah, that's right. Go to advancedhoustonchiropractor.com. Also, you can call or text 281-405-2611, and Shiloh will get back to you and get you an appointment scheduled to come see Dr. Wint or myself. And we look forward to seeing y'all soon. Thank you for watching. See you soon.